Okay, to start off-ice jumps, you want to warm up first. Always make sure your body is nice and warm before you start rotating. So we're going to start with 10 jumping jacks, and then you'll go into 10 speed skaters, jumping side to side. From there, you're going to go into grapevines, and you can do about 6 or 7 of these. We're just going to do a few. And then you're going to go into walking lunges. Okay, so take your time with this warm-up. This is just an example, but you'll probably run through these exercises 2 or 3 times until your body and your muscles are nice and warm. After you have a nice warm-up, what you're going to do is you're going to go into this stance. Okay, this is prepping for off-ice rotations. Your feet should be shoulder width apart with your toes pointing forward. If you are a regular rotator, sorry if that offends anyone, but if you rotate over your left shoulder, you will have your left arm in front and your right arm behind you. You will bend your knees and make sure that your hips are tucked underneath you. From there, you're gonna jump and start with a quarter rotation. Arms come in and you go back to your preparatory stance. Do this 8 times. Very nice. A good way to train your coordination and your technique is to rotate the opposite way. So now her right arm is in front, left arm is back, and we are going to rotate over our right shoulder. Quarter turn, quarter turn. Very nice. After you've rotated both directions, you're going to start increasing the amount of rotation you're doing. You're going to go to a half turn, and then to a 3/4 turn. And then you can rotate through. So let's have you go quarter, quarter, half, half, 3/4, 3/4. Train your brain. Work on your proprioception so that your brain knows where you are in the air. All right, the next exercise is single rotations. We like to go one way and then the opposite rotating way. Make sure that you're scissoring your arms and changing which arm is forward depending on which direction you're jumping. At 1.5 rotations, you may want to play around with crossing your legs into the air position. Always try to land tall with your head on top. Then you're going to start moving up in the rotations, starting with single, 1.5, going to a double, seeing if you can do 2.5, landing tall. And then just play around with how many rotations you can do. Mark it down in a journal, and each day try to rotate either 1/8 to 1/4 more each day. And you're probably gonna do about 10 rotations of each. This is just an example. She's working on a triple here. We're gonna try to get to 2.5 first. Very nice. Warm up is single taps. So you're gonna jump up as high as you can, and keeping your feet parallel, you're gonna click them together. After you've mastered this, we're gonna do something called the double tap. This is for quickness, agility, and speed, quick twitch muscles. So you jump up and you click your feet together, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Try to keep your body as tall as you can and make sure you're not bending your knees to make it happen. Another great way to train your landing position and your air position staying over your right side is to jump up, and then you're gonna land in what we call eagle pose. We've also heard it as flamingo. So then you're gonna go into a single rotation, landing over your right side and twisting to the right. Try to stop the rotation and land on one foot. From rotations into the actual jumps, you're gonna start with a waltz jump. Here, our demonstrator is doing a click waltz jump. She jumps up like a regular waltz jump, but in the air, she's clicking her feet together. This will train quickness and your quick twitch muscles. Talk about direction of travel. When you do off-ice jumps, you wanna make sure that you're working on distance and direction. You always wanna make sure that you're covering ground and making a rainbow shape with each jump. Through an off-ice axel. This is position 1. This is position 2. You're gonna jump to position 3, and position 4 is your landing position. Go through that with the walkthrough a few times, and then you're gonna rotate position 1, position 2, rotate position 3 into position 4. When you're ready, it's time for your off-ice Axel. Make sure you're hitting a nice H position and switching over to your right side. Hit a back scratch position in the air and hold a nice landing position with your toe pointed. Then you're gonna go through all of your jumps off ice. Again, you are gonna work on direction of travel. Make sure that you're covering ground when you do these jumps. That's a sow cow. This is an example of an off-ice toe. Off-ice loop jump. Off-ice flip jump. And an off-ice Waltz jump. Make sure that you cross when you tap. After you've done all of your off-ice jumps, you're gonna make sure you do a nice cool down. And you're all done. Be sure to stretch after, and congratulations.